John here again. So this is a 2002 GMC Sierra 2500 HD. It's got a power steering leak. I was going to say leak. It does leak, but it's not dripping. It's not a drip leak. It's nothing on the garage floor. It's just under a load. Fluid's going somewhere, and I can't really identify where it is. It's a mess under there. And so I bought a power steering pump, and I'm going to replace it. And I know, things are rusty under there, so. Probably going to be replacing lines and everything else, but I got to start somewhere. I've been putting this off. I've been adding fluid to it just here and there, and now finally at a red light, the power steering stopped working, and you go a little bit and it starts working again. So I don't know if that's a belt issue, maybe a bearing on a idler pulley seizing up, who knows. But because this is my vehicle, I'm going to be doing probably a little different than it would be if you took it somewhere, because I'm going to take a lot of this junk right out of the way just so I can get to everything, because like I said, there's some rust under there. The body of this truck is immaculate, but for some reason the frame's not too bad a shape, but you'll see plenty of rust to work with. So I know some fasteners are going to be breaking and all that. So let me get to business. Let me open this hood and kind of show you what I'm doing here. Hold on a sec. Yeah, so that stain there is it's not artwork. That's from power steering fluid, and as you can see here, it's pretty wet in there. It's actually helping out with the rust, but so I don't know where it's coming from. A friend of mine has a similar vehicle. His power steering pump, the ass of it just rotted out, and but that's going to create a puddle on the floor. I don't have that going on. One of these hoses got to be down there in two to create this much fluid escaping, and I know I did the oil cooler already. I forgot when I did that. It was maybe a couple years back. So some of the lines are new. I think that one, we'll get to it. But so, and this, because this hydro lock, or hydro, whatever the hell it's called, hydro booster is incorporated in your power steering pump. So it's got lines going to that. It's not new anymore, but that had been replaced over the years. So some of these lines, like I said, are going to be okay. But if you look down in there, especially, that looks like a brake line. That looks pretty rusty in there. Yeah, that is a brake line. So when I get all this stuff apart, I'm going to have to take the alternator off and all this, I don't know. Might even take the radiator out. I don't know. We'll see. I need lots of room. I want to get to everything I can and replace all the rust stuff while I'm in there. So let me get started taking some of these shrouds and hoses and whatnot, get it out of the way. So I got a few parts off: bumper, grill, shrouding, and I took the wheels off because I want this to be exactly as easy as possible. So I'm going to end up taking a lot of the stuff off. I mean the lights, everything, so I can get to everything. Reason being is, because I'm doing it myself, labor's free, but I do need a new condenser. The air conditioner still works, but this condenser has seen better days. It's getting a little smiley face going because it's missing the cross members there. As you can see, they're all spoiled. So I'll probably get a new condenser anyways, but I'm going to take all this crap off just so I can walk right in here and get to everything without any problems. This way I can see everything. And also inspect all my rust. Right? Look, there's some condenser material there. So the rust ain't horrible. I mean, it is. It's not like good, but it's still intact. So there's that. So the bumper was just 6 bolts, so it's no big deal. I only need this truck to last another 4 years. I'm gonna buy a big old Ford diesel. So look at this. I just did this maybe 2 years ago, if that. It's already rusted. But like I said, let me keep going. I'm going to take all this stuff out, get it completely out of the way. Yeah, so I got about an hour into this. We're close. I'm about to take the radiator out. The condenser, it's starting to rain here. I can't even believe that thing was working. I mean, the AC was working. Look at that fella. Missing half its, I don't know how that thing was working, but and that line didn't make it. I mean, I don't know how much they are, but probably going to get a new high pressure. Oh, it's starting to rain. High pressure line the low pressure line seemed to make it, but the gasket is, you know, so got a lot of parts to fiddle around with. But so in here, let's see. Like I said, I just got to get these lines off. This thing's got every cooler known to man. It's got a power steering cooler. It's got a transmission cooler. Some of this thing I was just looking at. So I got a few more connections. Get this radiator out of here, and then I'll be able to reach right through and get to everything. Yeah. And I don't know how much that steering pump is, but I'll look at pricing the whole steering system. I'll look at the rest of that thing. Yes, man. You think the lines are going to come off without any problem? But anyways, I'll be able to get to everything, even this line here. Alright, so I got the radiator out, and things came apart pretty good. I only got a couple of casualties in a way that this bolt broke, little fella, and I think one down there somewhere. This one here broke. That's no big deal. I'll get them out later, drill them out or whatever. So I could pretty much get to everything I need to right here. That's the power steering pump, and that's the steering gear, and I've got a little bit of thoughts on that, and all the hoses, of course. So this looks like some kind of, I don't know, high-speed interstate accident, but I've got the thing. The battery just died, so I had to repeat. I've got this A-frame, or you know, bracket to the side there. So now I can get to everything, and again, this took me about 2 hours, and I do have some casualties. I've got a couple lines and a oil cooler that didn't make it. But that being said, they're relatively cheap, that stuff, and the condenser that needs to be replaced. That wasn't my fault. That was just kind of shitty to begin with. So now I've got access, and I can basically sit down on a bar stool here and get to business here. This is the business that I'm looking for. This is the power steering pump. Now, can you get to it without taking all this other crap out? Of course, probably, most likely. But for me, because this truck is more than 20 years old, it is going to enable me to replace some lines like maybe these fellas here. And this one that broke here, I followed it back to the transmission. I'm probably just going to cut it here and mend it with a union, because it's not high pressure. It's just, you know, and that was really easy to break. The other line, that one there, I might just buy that guy. I think it's like 10 bucks, so that's no big deal. And the cooler, I don't know how much that cooler can cost, maybe 10 bucks. Really, I mean, condenser's only like, it's less than 100 bucks for the air conditioned condenser. So anyways, I've got a few parts to go, and this steering gear I'm wondering about, because I don't know where this goddamn leak is, where the power steering leak is. And this guy is pretty rusty. As you can see, there's a bolt there. So I'm going to look this fella up and see what kind of money it is. If it's a couple $100, I might just buy one and replace it. I mean, I'm here, I've got access. The pump, I've already bought the pump, and I don't have a pulley, but I'll probably buy a pulley, because this guy looks like he's got some grayscale going on there. Alright, sweet. So we got plenty to work with now. Nothing in the way. We get in there and start taking things apart. I'm going to take this pulley off and just see if I can, I don't know if this whole bracket with the alternator and everything can come off, and then we can get to it like that. I'll have to investigate, but let me see if I can pull that pulley off so I can see more. So if you don't have a pulley to take a jig to take a pulley off like this, they're only 20 bucks. Pretty cheap, but they're pretty easy to use. Or you can just go to any parts store. They'll let you rent theirs for nothing really. Just pay for it and then return it. So there's a deep groove and a end groove. It's fairly simple. It's kind of it's got an idiot proof, and then the forcing screw. So put it like this. Put the sleeve over it. There it comes. It bust through that one rust ring there. There it goes. Now I don't know if this the whole aluminum housing will come right off of there with everything attached. That would be cool. I'd just take it to the bench and swap everything out, but we'll see once we get this pulley off. So if you can't tell, I like to have room, man. See, reverse. So undoing all the bolts, it looks like this whole piece is going to come off. So I unhooked the battery, unclipped this alternator, and also the power fella. So I'm going to take this whole thing right off. Hopefully, maybe not. So it looks like we got some short ones and long ones, and the short ones were 1, 2, 3. So far, the rest of them have been long. That seems to be resting on that, so let's try to hold this. Just the three holding the power steering on. Oh yeah, that piece comes right out of there. Sweet. Oh. Holy 17-year-olds, Batman. All the stuff removed, and it's still tight. There's one bolt there on the back side that's got this thing. I can get a wrench in there, but this truck is 17 years old. I don't know. Hope that's not rusty. And then there's one way down in there. I don't even know if that's a nut. I really don't. So let me try to get this sucker off. Use the ratchet end. I can't believe it's still that tight in there. Imagine trying to do this over with the radiator in the way and doing all this business, trying to get all this crap apart. Wow, wait, man. So I was able to get the wrench on that one bolt, but no way on the second one. I was like, oh, this is impossible. You can't get a wrench in there. So it's tilted now. See what's going on is there's another bolt, a third bolt. Get number 3. That 6 perpendicular there, the wrench is on it now. And so I just loosened that fella up, and the whole bracket is twisted now. So I think once I get this bolt out, see it there, then this whole thing can come out and get the hoses off. Wow, that ain't cool, man. Alright, so it's got 3 lines on it. Like I said, that hydro boost is part that goes through this power steering pump. So looking like I'm going to take it off of here, and then I could slip it through because it's kind of mixed in here. So that line goes to the another cooler for your power steering. This is a power steering cooler. Like, who the hell needs a power steering cooler? But because I already replaced the power steering cooler, this hose is fairly new, about a year or 2. So I can take that worm gear off, get this pump out of here. But starting to pile up some parts. Even this cross member comes off. It's just got the 3 bolts on each side. So there's even more access. I like access. So now we might as well just change the engine while we're here, right? So where was I? I didn't get a new pump yet, so this line might be part of the pump. So I do have to take this bracket off, but I'm wondering about this. This is pretty rusty here, and if that gets cracked loose, I might as well just replace the line. It only goes right up to that fella. Can't be that expensive. Alright, so the pump's out. I decided to take it off at the she's dripping, at the hydro, up at top at the hydro booster there, just because it was easy access, and it came out good because this looks pretty angry here. So I am going to get another. This can't be but 15 bucks, 20 bucks max, I would imagine. Again, I don't know where anything is leaking, but I gotta get a pump just because it's seen better days. There's probably nothing wrong with it, but you know, because I don't know where my leak is, but it's rusty. Might as well. So that's where I'm at now, and I guess we're gonna have to get going on this steering gear, because again, there's some angry looking nuts in there too, right? And that definitely gonna replace that. That goes up to the other side of the hydro boost. So those 2 lines are gonna have to be replaced. And what else we got? So being able to walk in here now, I can fly my drone in here basically. I'll be able to get to you know, the pitman arm and all this stuff and get everything disconnected. It looks like just these 2 bolts here, maybe 3, 1, 2 for sure, 2 big bombs. So That might look a little angry. So let me work on that. I definitely want to replace that, just because, unless it's $1,000, I don't know how much it costs, but there's a part number, so I'll look it up before I disturb it. Because again, I can clean all this up, who knows, but what if I put all this back together and that sucker was the one leaking? I have no idea. I mean, it's saturated just because, you know, stuff's been dripping around, but it could be any of these lines. Well, not this. This has got engine oil in it, so that's probably not leaking. But because they're rusted, I'm going to replace them too, if they're easy enough to get to. They look like they go alongside the engine there, so I don't know. I gotta take a light in there and get a better look. Might be better off just leaving that shit alone, but anyways, that's where I'm at. Let me get this show on the road here. So we're underneath here. You know, that's the castle nut there. The sockets on it. Went to take a pair of needle nose. About that cotter pin there. It's about the strength of a bird's nest twig. Nothing doing. So I smashed a socket over it, and I really don't have the room to show you proper, but I'm gonna try this little 400 deal, see if that'll zip off, because I don't want to take this plate off. I can't use the earthquake. I gotta get a bigger extension, it looks like. Maybe not. Oh, maybe not. Alright, let's try this. Whew. I already got a piece of rust in the eye, that's always good. So there's a little angle to it, because I really don't want to take this plate off. Look at that fucker. It ain't coming off. So let's try to get this castle nut off first. I'm starting over here because it's the worst case scenario, so plug your ears. Oh, I thought the nut was stripping. Alright, so that came off. No drama for your mama there. Well, shoot, that came off pretty easy. Mr. Castle nut. Threads are still even good. So that's a bonus. So that cotter pin that was in there, that was just so crappy. Just spun that around like nothing. So now I'm going to try this fella, because this is probably the next worst piece right here. I'm not going to attempt to use the pickle fork yet to get that off the pitman arm, just because if this doesn't work out and these 3 bolts that hold this whole steering gear unit don't work out, no sense separating that. So if this works out and these 3 bolts work out, then I'll separate that and this thing should just fall right off of there, right? I don't know. Am I tightening? Reverse. Oh, it did come out. No way. Again, no drama for your mama. This is I guess that bolt's pretty good. I don't know if I'll reuse it, but so that's good. I don't know if that's gonna slide out of there as easy as that bolt came out of there, but alright, what's next? Let's go get the big mamma jammas before we get that pitman arm off. Alright, so the last 3 bolts are these 22mm puppies. There's one right here behind there. 2, 3. They look like they're already loose, right? I guess they got some kind of shoulder bolt on them, or you know, some kind of protrusion. I was just trying to fit the size. Found a 22. It's close enough. I say close enough. Actually, not that rust is gone. I might have to. That's a 22. Let me see if I get a 21. I don't want to strip that bolt. Hold on a second. Yeah, try 21. Oh yeah, much better. So I doubt the Nano. What are we looking at here? We got this. I doubt the Nano. It's only 400 torque is going to do this. But let's try it anyways. Actually, let's torque. Oh, is that spinning? Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Oh, good for you, pal. Let's Try these other rusty bits. Wowee. Again, no drama. No drama for your mama. Actually, this is good that I have the Nano because I don't know if I can get in there. Ah, crap. I might have to take this Christmas tree out. I might have to get that piece out. Lift this out a little more. Yeah. A pair of pliers that I try to get the cotter pin out might work. Bingo. Oh yeah. Bingo. Maybe one more. This is going so well, maybe one more. Maybe not. Maybe. Oh yeah. Reusable. Oh yeah. Okay. Talk to me, Goose. Ain't having it. Get the earthquake, electric, battery power, reverse. Okay, no problem. No problemo. Wow, it's the only one. Oh yeah, headrest on the end. They all made it. They all made it. Let's go back up top side. Well shit, this is the easiest part of the job so far. She just dropped, so that's loose. Now we just got to work on that pitman arm. Let me go get a pickle fork and see if I can bust that loose. The only thing that's holding this thing on right now, maybe I should put a bolt back in there just to, where you at now? Oh! Just to hold it up a little bit. The thing's flexing for no reason. Oh, that thing's pretty heavy. Is it really going to come down to this? Can't get this separated. So I got this, it's a thinner deal here. Because maybe I'm just hitting metal without getting underneath. I'll find out here in a sec. Oh yeah, that's different. I can already feel it's different. Yeah, it's starting to go. So I guess this pickle, this is this, you know, the thickness, the skinniest one I got for a pneumatic. So it's old Manuel. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Just popped off. Alright. The proper tool. No problemo. Alright. Alright, silence. Silence. Alright, so the pitman arm is separated. This is hanging on by one bolt like we did before. I don't know if you saw that. And now it's just a matter of this intermediate shaft here. But I gotta tell you, you probably should go secure your steering wheel if you're doing this and you're following along. Because if your steering wheel, if I get this off the thing and the thing rotates, you got your, what do you call that thing for the airbag, your clock it's called, right? So if your steering wheel gets out of whack, you're not going to know exactly where it is because ribbons go back and forth when you turn your steering wheel. And if you have your steering wheel turned at a certain point where the ribbon is short, you could turn your steering wheel and rip that ribbon right out of the airbag wiring. So I'm going to go secure my steering wheel because I'm going to hit this with a pickle fork. Hopefully that's all going to fall apart and then I can get this unit out of here. Minus, this is the only thing basically that's holding this thing together is a little line here. So let me go get cleaned up because I got to go get the, you know, Velcro the steering wheel or wire it or something. Alright, so it's coming out of the steering wheel, which we don't want. So maybe it does need to be banged out a bit. Maybe sharp enough. Look, more hoses. More hoses in a way. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, just give it a couple whacks with the pickle fork. She's coming out. Come right out. Rust it on. because you don't want to, you know, undo it from the, you know, fall out from, you know, that thing's like on a telescope deal. So now let's pick this sucker up. Oh, this thing's heavy. Heavy, man. I guess it's not quite out of the hole. Dill pickle. There it goes. There it goes. Alright. This thing's a little bit heavy, so I've got two lines here. I've got this, am I even looking at the right thing here? What am I looking at? Yeah, I suppose I am. I'm all greasy, I don't want to touch the camera. So I've got to disconnect this line and this line, and that's it. This gear is out of here. So let me, I don't really need to get cleaned up. I just need a 5/16 or whatever this is. It's just a return line. It's not a pressure line. This is a pressure line. We'll see if that turns. If not, I'll just zip it and the box is out of here. And that's it, man. Then we can start cleaning up and rebuilding this thing, yeah? Oh, dag. I think this is the hardest part of the job. Getting that pitman arm off. I need to see how many splines this is to go price this thing, and I'm glad I had a heavy-duty pitman arm puller, because if I didn't, I forgot I had it. I used a 2-jaw puller and broke it, and then I was like trying to hammer on it with a pickle fork. That ain't gonna work because of the, you know, it's got splines in there. I can't get in there, and there's no way it's gonna force that up. You need to have a puller. And I went rummaging through my junk drawer, not junk drawer, but stuff I don't use in a while. I don't know what the, oh, made in the old USA. Looks like an OTC product. But anyways, that was a real nasty, well, as you can see, it's all rusted. So I don't think I'm going to need a pitman arm. I might have to get a boot when I use the pickle fork to get that off. I think there's a little rip there, yeah. So I'll get another boot. I think this pitman arm's still good. These are pretty pricey, actually, this heavy duty one. So I want to save that. Still got a grease fitting. So no, let me go to the parts store and see if I can get some parts. Alright, so just came from the parts store, and that's the steering box or steering gear. A bunch of other parts, so it tallied up to around $700 something. But I got all the hoses. I got basically everything I need. They didn't have certain things. It's on order, like that condenser. Not on order, but whatever, because, you know, I bought it, but all this stuff, this cooler here, everything I need, I'll go along and I'll show you. So basically for $700 something, which is under $1,000. So that's what I was looking at. So I just started beating this up with an air hammer, getting some of that flaky rust off. And I'm going to treat this with fluid film behind here and everything before I put everything back on. But like I said, I bought all these lines, so I got to figure out where those plug into, see if I can get them out easy enough. These lines would probably work, but I just don't want to take any chances, especially, you know, when they get behind this plastic stuff, they swell up and start flaking. And I noticed, you can't see in there, I have to get a light, but they're in this little plastic cradle. They're probably shot. And where else was it? Oh, the tranny lines. Those don't look very healthy. So I've got all this stuff. So it's probably, before I put the steering box in, let me do these lines, because I'll do these lines, all the lines, get them ready to go. And that way, you know, with the steering box in there, if it's in the way, or the pump, you know, I don't want to put anything on yet. I want to get basically everything, you know, line-wise done while I've got the room here. This keeps getting better and better. Water pump, AC condenser, compressor. Whew. I guess I figure I ain't doing this again, so and it's only an extra, honestly, it was, we're talking $300 in parts. I had to do it just because everything's right here. I mean, I'm running all these lines, I'm right next to all this stuff, and now I can get the grease fittings that I never knew existed. So, I don't know, I thought it was worth the extra $300. This thing worked, nothing wrong with it, but the front of it, it's pretty rusty, at least on a truck. I spilled a lot of crap on it. This water pump, I don't even know if it's original. I've had this truck with 50,000 miles on it. I'm assuming it's original, but I got it. So I haven't even got to the steering pump yet, or the steering gear, or any other business why I'm here. Too busy screwing around with putting new hoses and new lines and new everything. I actually got a new accumulator, new lines from the accumulator to the condenser. I got a new condenser. I don't even know what the hell it is. I think it's up front somewhere. Who knows? New condenser, because that was shot. Well, that's the old condenser. You know that was bad. And a new one of these fellas, because trying to take these fittings off, that shit the bed. I don't even know what the hell that is. That's right there. A little different design, but I think it'll work. So my budget was around $1,000 for this, and I'm a little over now, about 300 bucks over, maybe a little more. But it's worth it. I need to struck for another 4 years, so while I'm in here, I'll do all this. And then I'm starting to look around like, should I replace the harmonic balancer? Should I replace, yeah, enough's enough. I got to stop while I'm ahead here. It's just easy to get to this stuff, so I figured why not. But I got to stop. It's getting out of control here. So let me start putting things back together after I get this cleaned up. Poof, done deal. So like I said, the water pump, 6 bolts. It's right here. You know, it's a no-brainer. So I got a new water pump in there, and now I got to get that thermostat and idler put back on it. But I mean, even this pulley is starting to rust. So I think it's a good move, just because I don't want to be in here again. So I still haven't got to the steering, putting that back in, but I did get the lines. All the lines are in. So all them rusty ones are going kaput. Put the steering box in first, then the lines, and then the pump, or a bracket and a pump and all that. I'll get to that. So let me button this back up. I know I'm off side detail here, but I put that all together off camera, so I'm getting close here. Whew. Alright, so steering box is in. I am beat. So here's a tip for you. Alright, so I put the pitman arm on, on the bench, put it on there. Basically had it aligned. The way it come off the vehicle, I wanted to keep it aligned. So the pitman arm went this way, and I put the pitman arm, I torqued it down. And then how I put it in the vehicle, the tie rod piece there, I just kind of slipped the pitman arm into the hole there, and then was able to take this intermediate shaft here and slide that into the shaft without bolting anything up. Again, I made sure my steering wheel was locked, or not locked, but tied off in the position that it was when I took this off. So things were a little bit off. I had to rotate it just a little bit, but that shifted it away from the frame. So I was able to get one bolt kind of started, and then I went into the cab and turned the wheel. I don't know if it was right or left or whatever, and that kind of pushed the unit to the frame. So then I was finger tight everything, got the castle nut underneath the pitman arm. Everything was finger tight, even that set bolt there for the shaft, the steering shaft. And then I go in the cab and the steering wheel is like way off, like 90 degrees off. I'm like, oh crap, man. So you don't want to mess with that steering wheel because of the clock inside for the what do you call it, the airbag clock. You don't want to get that thing out of whack, so when you turn your wheel all the way one way or the other, it's going to rip that ribbon apart. So I was like, oh man, what happened? Because thinking, anyways, nothing happened. I cinched the gear up, tightened everything down, and I went back and looked at the wheel. It fixed itself just because it needed to go in more, and everything got in alignment. So then this is just all shitted up with fluid film, so help stop the rust. And next up I have to do the lines, right? But what I did forget is that pitman arm, right? The shaft that goes through the hole for your rod there. I forgot that I broke the cotter pin off in there, and I never cleaned that up. So I just spent an hour, good part of an hour underneath trying to poke that rusty pin out and get that thing shaped. I should have just put the cotter, because I started the the castle nut. I should have just took it back off, put a wash, like a lock washer, and put it back on. Because once you start poking that thing out, it got stuck. Now you can't put your nut back on. It was a nightmare. So that's my tip. If you break your cotter pin before you put that shaft on, or your arm, your pitman arm, make sure that hole is clean so you can send another cotter pin through it. Oh, you know, it was literally a little bit of space there. Trying to get a big ass hammer in there to poke it out. Nothing was working. I broke a drill off in there trying to drill it out. Like I said, nightmare. But everything's good now. I finally got it. What's next? Like I said, I'm going to do the lines next. And alright, so everything's still wet from fluid film. It'll stay that way. But so next I'm going to put the power steering pump on and then run some lines. And we'll do that, but in the meantime, I gotta wait for this part to dry. That was a bracket, that little, that red bracket was pretty rusted up. I don't have any black paint, so it's gonna be red. But that goes on the back side of the, this is what this bolt here is for. And then it comes around, that's what you bolt the power steering pump to. And then that other big bracket with the alternator and everything else, it gets secured both ways. So once that dries, I'll put this in. Actually, before I do that, look at that. That thing's off. It's like at an angle. And I think that's, I don't think that, I'll have to take this back apart. That don't look right. It's at an angle there. Let me go get the other one, see what it looks like. Oh boy. Yeah, it's different. Of course. See, I've got this, that looks the same. You can't take these nuts off, but this one doesn't have it at the top. It was kind of just almost flush. I don't think you could take them off. And it's got, the new one's got two of them on there. I'm going to have to take that pump back off. If I have to, I might have to drill a hole in the in that bracket, a bigger hole, to get around the shoulder bolt. Let me take it back out and I'll show you. Yeah, that ain't cool, man. So this is a shoulder on here. See how that looks? Same with here. And the old one had a shoulder on the bottom, but not the top. So that bracket's got to sit flush. It won't sit flush at this angle. So I gotta drill this hole out. My new paint job. See, I bent it too just a little bit, trying to torque that down. And it needs to sit like right here. So it's flat up against the, not touching it, but you know, closer. So I don't even know if there's enough material to drill that out. I had to do something. Jeez Louise. I had to build a little jig here. I mean, I need to make this hole like three-quarter inch or 3/4 inch. I mean, there's barely gonna. This thing's only a little. It's about 7/8. It's barely gonna have enough. Well, I have to do what I gotta do. This just holds it, you know, to the block until we get this piece over it. So I ain't worried about making this big gigantic hole here. It'll have something to, I'm gonna have to get a big washer, but it'll have something to bite on. Alright, take two. So I got a washer behind it to take up that space because of the hole is bigger obviously now, but now we have uniform space where it needs to be. Not tweaked. Glad I found that now. That would have been something if the pulley was tweaked. You know, you put this in there a little tweaked. I guess I'd have been the first to know. Start it up and the belt probably would have jacked it right away. Alright, take two. So now it's where it's supposed to be. It's just sitting there. It's a little bit loose, but again, I got to put this bracket on so it's secure enough. So I got that, I don't know where, what, I forgot what I did, but I tightened that, the pressure hose on the back, and I also tightened the two on the clamp, and just have the one in the engine block there kind of snugged up just so it don't go anywhere. So now I snaked it up through here. I got to plug this fella in here. Put a little, don't forget your rubber, your O-ring there. But I put a little bit of never sleeves in there. And the big one goes in that hole, right? And then this is the other pressure hose. And that's going to go, the little nut in this kind of square bend there. That goes in the top hole on the right there. Right there. And this funky thing plugs into the big hole here. So I'm gonna have to snake that up there. I gotta put this camera down, but snake that up through here where it was. And then what's next? Then I've got some return lines to do, and put that bracket on in the alternator, and that's that. we'll start getting to the radiator and everything else. We'll have this thing together in like 3 minutes. Yeah, not. That's a return hose. So, all right, let me put the camera down. So like I said, this square, funky square hook, that's got to go up on the top there. So I'll just snake it up behind the goes behind the master cylinder, whatever you want to call it, and then that goes in that hole, and then this comes down and plugs into, I'll show you. Probably can't see it down here. I guess you can. Plugs into this big hole here. Goes right alongside like that. So let me do that. Originally had this, it ain't tight yet, it's just sitting there. I didn't take that cap off, but originally had it over this one. It seems to fit better under it, under the power steering pressure hose, or to the power steering pump. So go under it and then sneak it around back. I don't know if you can see it in there. It comes out, plugs in there. Fits a lot better that way. So it's looking something like this. You know, this little protector here came with this hose. I think it's a Dorman product, but you can see where that nut is. So it gets kind of close. They put a piece of rubber on there. And I think I'm going to do that. You probably can't see in here, but where this gets tightened down, it sneaks under there. It's not touching, but I'm going to slide a piece of rubber hose on there, and also slide a piece here where it is touching, but I ain't tightened this yet, so you can see I'll probably tighten it there, but it is getting a little bit close. So I'm going to add a piece of rubber here and a piece of rubber there, just because I don't want it vibrating on there. I'm starting to lose parts. Oh, there it is. I've got a power steering oil cooler, so it's going to run through that first. So we're going to run the oil cooler from here. The oil cooler sits around here, and then back to your return. So that's where I'm at with that. I don't know which. This is the high one. So there's an upper one and a lower one. I got to figure out which return goes to what. I'm sure that matters. So that's what we got left. I got to put some rubber on there, tighten them up, figure out which return goes to what. I'm not sure if the brake goes to the upper or lower. I'll figure that out. I'll have to probably look at some footage when I took it off, because I don't think I'm going to find anything online as far as what goes what. But that is touching, so I got to deal with that first. Where the hell is that line at? There it is. So the line coming out of here, which I have a new hose, I'll put that in a second. That comes out, snakes down through here, goes to the upper. The lower, if you want, you can go right to here. Whoop, where are we at? You can go right from here to here on the lower. If you don't want to use your power steering, if you don't have one, perhaps it would go right lower to lower steering gear. But I have that the cooler there, so I've got to go from here to the cooler, out of the cooler, back into here, and then we're done. Look, I added some horsepower. That's the bracket for the alternator and the power steering pump. You know, red paint, that's like 15 horsepower right there. But I do want to spray these lines, because if you don't, pretty much tomorrow it'll be rusted. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all the metal contacts. That's aluminum. I'm not worried about that, but I don't think that Hydro Boost is aluminum. You can see some rust there. Alright, so this is a new return hose, and I'm thinking it's going to go this way. I'm just too lazy to go look at the footage, see where it was, but I don't really like it over that thick ass harness for the fuse box, but it's got to go to this fella here. Whoop, where we're down here. So the end of this goes here. I should just go look at the footage, so I'm probably just sneak it underneath here. It'll probably look better. So yeah, I'm much better with that. So I didn't put it on yet, but so the upper hose goes here, right? Bingo, it's just return hose. And then, so last piece of this puzzle. This is the oil cooler for the power steering, right? And you know, I'm gonna shut them up, but so one line goes on here. This is a stem that comes out of your gear. One line goes on there, and one line goes on your power steering pump. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm using these OEM clamps. So if this thing shits the bed in the future, I mean, look at this cooler, right? What is that exactly going to cool? And how long have they been using coolers? Or how long have they been not using coolers? It's just one little loop there. So if this thing shits the bed in the future, because this is only a year or two old, it's already rusting. I'm just going to go right from here to here, because essentially that's what you're doing. You're just going through the cooler. So you know, it's not like we're going around, I don't know, Watkins Glen here. How hot is the coolant or the power steering fluid going to get? You know. So I'm going to hook this up, and that'll be that. That's the last piece of the puzzle. Then we're going to put my 15 horsepower bracket on, put the alternator back on, start buttoning all this stuff up, and get everything situated so we could put the, you know, that piece back in on the top, the radiator, the condenser, which is new, and start buttoning this thing up. You know, because I'm going to need this thing in a week or two. Alright, so putting this bracket in was it wasn't really problematic, but the bolt holes weren't lining up. So you got the 3 bolts for the pump itself, 1, 2, 3, and you got these other long bolts that go in and plug it into the engine, and I was having a little difficulty threading them in, so I put a little bottle jack underneath the thing, and that way I could just, you know, sitting on the frame and touching that, just a little bit needed a tweak to come up so I can thread in the bottom bolt, this bolt, and that bolt. So everything's still loosey-goosey. Now I can go around and tighten them all up. So I think we're done buying parts. This is the last part I bought for 20 bucks. Might as well. New pulley, just because the old one's full of rust. And I figured, hell, spent this much, you know, I've actually spent so much money. Napa gave me a hat. So at this point, doing it yourself, you know, it's worth the money, the extra money. In other words, for me doing the water pump, me doing my air condition, and you know, me doing all these lines just because I'm in here, because it really just was about the steering pump. But I figured, hey, I'm in here, I'm not going to be in here anytime soon. And then, you know, you start getting crazy with buying stuff, but I got to pull the cork here, or put a stop, whatever the hell this saying is. I gotta stop buying parts and get putting this thing back together. So, so we got the belts back on. The belt for the air condition behind there. The what we put on the idler pulley, the alternator, and of course that pulley. So we're all set there. I'll just keep going. Alright, I guess I should have took that out of the box way before down. So that's the new one. And that's the old one. Obviously the bracket's a little different, so I believe, I don't know if I'm going to have to use the same bracket. We'll see what happens, but these, the new one come with these fittings. The fittings that I paid 11 bucks for. You can't see it at the end of that pipe there, the black fittings. This came with it. I wish I'd known that, because they were 11 bucks a piece and I had to wait for 2 days to get them. And I guess I'll just keep them at this point. Spent so much money, but let me see if I can get something swapped over and put that booger back in the middle. So the A-frame is, I think I can work around this A-frame. I think I'm going to leave it in. It's bolted in. I just took that transmission cooler goes in the center there. Took it out, and there's the lines for it. So let me get that hooked up. I think I could put the radiator in and the condenser and get to everything around that piece. So I think I'm going to leave it in. At first I was just going to work on this transmission cooler and then take it back, the whole mechanism back out to get the radiator and everything. But I think I can work around it, and I forgot how it came off. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so I think we're going to modify something. So this is the way it was. They just had these little plastic clips that go in a hole, you know, keep it secure there. And up here there was two holes up here, and that's how it went, just like that, right? The new one doesn't look like that. It is the right, you know, space down here. The lines are the same, you know, where they connect, but clearly this is shorter. and this bracket doesn't come off of there. Well, it could come off of there, I suppose. It's pop riveted on the bracket, but this doesn't have, as you can see, you know, there's no way I'm going to pop rivet it on there. That's part of the cooler, so that's kind of a done deal there. I'll have to think of something. But what they did different here on the bottom is they had like a channel, so I think I can slide in a J bolt or whatever, those speed nut on the bottom. So I think, let me see. Yeah, so I think they just make it, actually, you might even, alright, I see what they're doing. So now, which I don't think they gave me bolts for, but I'll have to get 2 bolts, press them down through, and that's the way that thing's going to be, I guess. Kind of just flimsy, but here's that $10, $11 goddamn fitting I put on there. I'm going to put the other one on here, but it came with fittings, so I'm just going to obviously use that. I'll have to take that back off, and I'm not really happy with this, so I might do some kind of bracket to help that support. Alright, so what I ended up doing is just chopping the top bracket and the bottom bracket off of this thing. The reason I'm replacing this is because I tried to get them nuts out, or the bolt, you know, these, no way, man. Started twisting it. I mean, it's just a thin ass aluminum. Started twisting it, so I had to replace this, but like I said, the bracket's different. So that's the bracket from, I just took off the, that fella there. And I'm going to use that, but this one is not quite up to snuff. I'm going to have to, this is just aluminum too, the holes aren't quite aligned, they're not going deep enough, so make a hole deeper, and then this gets plugged in like this. I'll show you what my thoughts are. See, oh, I already did this move here. I just made a little nick here and bent that tab, which they're on opposite sides, but bent that tab so we can do it this way. And so what's going to happen is something like this. The other bracket, on the back, on the bottom, we cut up into 3 pieces and drilled some new holes and some little L brackets. So, because I definitely don't want this flapping in the breeze, even though it's going to be tight down there. So let's see how I was going to do this. So I'm going to put something like this. Put this fellow behind it, right, like that. I'm going to pop rivet it to the original bracket. Same with this guy here. Pop rivet it there to the original bracket, and then just run this fella across like this. I already drilled the hole, so I'm good to go. Pop everything together, and I don't even have to paint it because just pop rivet it to this piece, that'll hold it there, and these 2 pieces will hold it there. So that's what I'm going to do. Look, yeah, so I'm thinking something like that, right? Now she's able to bolt in there on the top and the bottom. So basically, something falling out. The one bolt there that's holding it is the tab that I flipped down, and of course this bolt holding this tab is part of it. Right? Right. So I got the radiator popped in. I tried it a few ways. I tried to sneak it in this way. It didn't work, but you have to kind of go over the top and just shimmy it down. It's pretty light, but honestly, I probably should have replaced this radiator too. I replaced everything else. But it is what it is. If I do blow a radiator, well, it ain't like we got to go as far as we did, because it slips right out. You got to get rid of all this, you know, your fan and stuff, but slips right out. It's pretty easy to do. So let me finish bolting this up and hooking up some hoses. And now our access door is now closed, so we're going to do the old reach around, or reach over, and all that business. Alright, so I've been running this thing about 30 minutes. Sounds good. No leaks from up here. No leaks from down here. Running about 30 minutes now. Checked all the fluids. The temperature's running good. I think it's got a transmission temperature thing too, but you know, that's not going to matter until you're underway pulling a load. But the oil temperature, the coolant temperature, everything's running good. Oil pressure, everything's good. So everything came out good. Pretty happy with that. So hopefully this car will last me another 4 years. Again, well, I got to wash her up, but there's no rust on the truck, so you got to keep it right. Well, I say no rust. Underneath, it went on a little diet here, knocking a bunch of them parts off. That's actually part of my truck. So anyways, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Hope you know, if you're doing a steering overhaul, maybe you pick up a few things that I did that will help you out. But other than that, that's all I got. Well, you know, I got to clean this garage up and clean everything up and take all this stuff to Pete the Junk Man. And I got more junk out back from this project, but it took me about 2 weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, and it is, geez, I forget the price. It was, you know, just parts only, if you're going to do it yourself, and relatively cheap as far as all the parts go, because I replaced every line, every goddamn thing I could think of when I was in there, and I think I'm around 1,100 bucks total. And if you're just going to do a steering, like gear or steering pump, it's going to be way cheaper, but I went overboard with ACs and water pumps and all these lines. That's the water pump, that's you know, pulleys I replaced. So again, for 1,100 bucks, you'd probably be hard pressed to go to a, you know, mechanic and get your power steering pump replaced for 1,100 bucks nowadays anyways. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you next time.